Okay, welcome live stream friends, wherever you may be. My name is Pasha McGregor. I'm the facilitator for this morning at New Thought Center of Hawaii. And our guest speaker today is Adriana Attento. And our musicians are Christina. It rhymes nicely and they harmonize nicely. So I think it will be a beautiful combination of energies. And we are going to have a um, reading now from Science of Mind magazine. And I believe Ramona is going to do the honors. Um, so, because of our technical challenge, we're sort of sharing microphones more than usual. Do you want to just step over here? Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Oh, okay, great. So this is from the Science of Mind magazine from Centers for Spiritual Living. And it's beautiful. The one for today is called The Power of Community. How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. That's from Psalm 133, 1. Love is the only final security in the universe. Love is the greatest healing power in the universe and the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. That's Ernest Holmes. Stephanie Bastos wanted to be a dancer since she was 4. That dream shattered when she woke up at 18 in a hospital bed to learn that her foot had been amputated following a serious auto accident. Those around her would not allow her dream to be quashed. Her mother affirmed that Stephanie was still a dancer, even if she only had one foot. Her dance friends swarmed her hospital bed, insisting and believing Stephanie would dance again, inspiring her by plastering the walls of her hospital room with posters of world famous dancers. Her dance teacher and the dean at her performing arts high school assured Stephanie she would continue to be a dancer. It worked. Quote, the doctors amputated my foot, but they didn't amputate my soul, and my soul needs to dance, unquote, she told a reporter. At her high school graduation 3.5 months later, Stephanie inspired the crowd when she took the stage, dancing with just one leg. Her story spread, and strangers began raising money for reconstructive surgery, physical therapy, and prostheses. Stephanie has a successful international career as a professional dancer. She also opens possibilities for others as an instructor for an organization that offers free classes to those with disabilities. Stephanie's story demonstrates the power of community. It's no different for us being in spiritual community. We are not meant to do this life alone. Being active in spiritual community encourages, uplifts, and shepherds us to a deeper connection with the divine through each other. And this is the affirmation. I'll read it once and then we'll do it together. I engage wholeheartedly in spiritual community using the support, encouragement, and accountability it offers to help me grow spiritually. I engage wholeheartedly in spiritual community using the support, encouragement, and accountability it offers to help me grow spiritually. Amen.
Thank you, Ramona. I'm taking this opportunity to test this microphone. Does it seem to be working? Okay, that's in Stephen's realm. Testing. Is this better? Yeah, okay, great. So I'm going to invite our musicians to do the official opening song now.
Okay. Everything that's going on in the world, just want to put a little love in the air. So we'll sing this one. You folks might remember it. Sting, right? In the empire of the senses, you're the queen of all you survey. All the cities, all the nations, everything that falls your way, I say. There is a deeper world than this that you don't understand. There is a deeper world than this, tugging at your hand. Every ripple on the ocean, every leaf on every tree, every sand dune in the desert, every power we never see. I say, there is a deeper wave than this, rising in the world. There is a deeper wave than this. Listen to me, girl. Feel it rising in the cities. Feel it sweeping over land, over borders, over frontiers. Nothing will its power withstand. I say, there is a deeper wave than this, rising in the world. There is a deeper wave than this. Listen to me, girl. All the bloodshed, all the anger, all the weapons, all the greed, all the armies, all the missiles, all the symbols of our fear. I say, there is a deeper wave than this, rising in the world. There is a deeper wave than this. Listen to me, girl. At the still point of destruction, at the center of the fury, all the angels, all the devils, all around us, can't you see? I say, there is a deeper wave than this, rising in the land. There is a deeper wave than this, nothing will withstand. I say, love is the seventh wave. 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 I say. Mahalo.
That was so perfect. Thank you so much. Whew. So the opening prayer that I chose for today comes from a psalm, Psalm 46. I reading, and it starts out already fairly short, and then it gets shorter as it goes along. Um, so I think we can repeat it. It'll be easier than the affirmation magazine. Okay. Peace, be still, and know that I am God. Peace, be still and know. Peace, be still. Be still. Thank you. And this morning is a special morning, not only because of the particular combination of people that we have together and the message we're going to receive from Adriana, but it's also special because it's the first Sunday since our beloved community member Marie Claire made her transition. And some of you probably have already enjoyed her musical offering, which is titled Be Still. And it's something she created, I guess, in 2004, but it's available, and it's yeah, she left us with so many treasures. So as the facilitator, I get to sort of introduce New Thought Center. If there's anybody not already familiar with it, I think most of you are, but it means different things to different people. But two of the unique characteristics, I think, of New Thought Center of Hawaii is that we have no minister, and it's not an accident, it's a choice. Because we have no single individual we hire to be a minister. It's like we're bringing forth the inner minister in many of us and in different ways. It's also kind of unusual that we at the same time value individualism. Our mission says that we aim to provide a sanctuary of aloha for the nourishment, development, and evolution of each individual's unique spiritual path. So we value that uniqueness and individuality, but at the same time, we are a community, a multi-faith spiritual community. And I know that Marie Claire greatly valued that. She told me one time, it's every time during the pandemic when we had the ability to gather in person safely, she was here. And one time I had consulted with her about a speaker that was a little disappointing, and she said, well, I don't think it matters so much who the speaker is or what they said. The most important thing is being together as a community. So and now that it appears we're emerging from the shadow of the pandemic, we're New Thought has been adding back various functions that had been suspended for health and safety reasons. And one of those was passing the microphone so that people could introduce themselves and respond to a prompt or answer a question. So that was going to be the main purpose of this mic before we had technical difficulties, but I think we can still do it. So because it's kind of the uppermost thing in our consciousness for a lot of the friends of Marie Claire, I'm going to, the prompt will relate not to the message of today, but to her. And it appears that the actual celebration of life will be in either late April or early May, but right now you can, after saying your name, if you wish to, just in a word to a sentence, say something that you particularly appreciated about Marie Claire. And one of our New Thought teachers brought out the difference between goals and qualities. That a goal is sort of linear, it's something you work towards, you achieve it, and then it's done. But a quality is more enduring and sort of all containing, embracing, and something that we can emulate. So if you kind of try to distill the essence of some quality or attribute of Marie Claire that you admired, and perhaps you can bring it forth in yourself as well, then we can do it fairly briefly. If it's something that requires a story, wait till the celebration of life. And if some of you may not have been acquainted with her, that's fine too. In that case, you can just name a quality that you want to embody more yourself right now. So since I'm asking you to do it, I'll do it first. Okay, so my name is Pasha, and the quality that comes to mind for me right now that I appreciated is being fully present in the moment.
My name is Adriana, and the very brief interaction that I had with Marie Claire, I would say the quality is spirited creativity.
Hello, my name is Heather. I did not know her, but I would like to have the quality that she had on you. She seemed to really touch your soul and your heart. Um, I hope I can do that with other people.
I'm Anna. Marie Claire impressed me as being a very spiritual person. And Marie Claire impressed me as being a person. And I would emulate that to increase my own spiritual practice, which I've kind of fallen on rough times. And I've missed New Thought so much. It's been a beacon of reminding me of the spiritual side of life.
I didn't know Marie Claire long, but I seem to be in really important, at least for me, situations with her. Here on the lanai during service, but also in Crystal Bowl's meditation, where she would help Aaron with music and leading it. And what struck me about her, which is something I really need to learn myself, I'm constantly learning, is being centered. Just whatever was happening or whatever was coming up, that quality seemed to just emanate from Marie Claire, just like holding space and coming from, because when you hold space, you connect with the divine, I believe. And then whatever comes out is directly from that wonderful, wonderful deep space. Thank you, Marie Claire.
I'm Patty, and what I could say is that she is just a wonderful, loving person.
This is Erin, and I'm going to remember and hold reflection. I'm going to say two things, and her beautiful smile.
My name is Liza, and Marie Claire was new to me as Oscillaria was getting ready to, sorry, getting ready to transition. And what I appreciated about Marie Claire was how caring she was with Australia at the end of her life here.
I'm Shayna. Um, Marie Claire always had an easy smell and a, a warmth, a presence. If you were talking to her, she was there. That was two things I'd like to have.
My name is Stephen. I had quite a few interactions with Marie while she was here. And I remember that, like, well, she's pretty uninhibited. And I'd like more of that. And usually, she's willing to laugh at whatever. So took it with style.
I'm Brian. I did not know her. A little closer. I'm Brian, and I did not know her. Um, One thing I would like to say is the spirituality. Um, I'm working on my spirituality, and from what I hear, um, she had a great spirituality, and she is with us. So that's all I have.
Hi, I'm Christy. I didn't know Marie Claire, but the quality I'd like to um, develop is being more of a glass half full person with gratitude. Okay.
Aloha, I'm Mahina, and I'll just say mahalo, Marie, for your sacred service.
Aloha, I'm Sarah, and the quality I knew Marie Claire for many years, and the quality I admire most in her is her confidence in her worth and deserving of the best life that she could possibly create, and not taking no for an answer. She was persevering, and she did it even the last week, getting a reservation at Magic's when the website said there were no reservations available. She got a reservation for me and my friend visiting. It's amazing.
Ooh. I was very blessed to know Marie Claire very well, mainly because of my beautiful daughter Faith. And very early on, I believe it was at one of the Thanksgiving community programs that we had down at the Catholic Church that year, and Faith was dancing in the aisle, and Marie Claire decided to take her outside and dance with her outside, and she and Gerling stayed out and danced with her during the rest of the program. And from that point on, they were attached, and Marie Claire became her godmother. So I had many, many wonderful experiences with her. I just, wow. She had the most amazing qualities of life and fullness and presence, and I would like to have more of that as well.
Hi, I'm Momi, and Marie Claire in Fleeting, just from New Thought, and some of the fundraisers we did before I went into Hermitage, and she was always graceful, and she was always elegant, and I always loved that about her. She just had this elegance about her always, and I loved it. She was wonderful.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. This is my first service, so thanks for having me. I had the honor of working with Marie Claire and just learned about her today, and I witnessed her as this like multi-dimensional, intergalactic, soulful diva queen, and I am so honored to have met her.
I'm Zach. I'm Zachary. I did not know Mary Claire. This is my first time coming to the New Thought Center, so thank you. And I am definitely trying to immerse myself in gratitude for what is available here, especially this sense of community.
I'm Annie. Um, the quality that Marie Claire encompass that's most important to me is, even though I'm so much older than her, she always acted like my big sister. And I'll just always remember the great big giant bear hugs that she would give me.
Marie Claire, I loved you. And I love you. Hear that? I love you. At my last meeting with her, I got down on my knee like this. Her music bridged the gap from the finite to the infinite. Bridges the music from the finite to the infinite.
I think we got to everyone. If anyone missed, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I feel like she truly is fully with us now. Even the people who never met her get a sense of how of what she was from the impact she had on her friends. So I think it's time for another song.
Okay, we have a couple more songs. One is a prayer song, and one is love song. And the prayer song I'm going to ask you folks to do with me. So if you feel like participating, we'll do that first. We're just going to do this. I don't know. We were going to do something totally way else, but I just got a call. You know, there's so much going on in the world right now. And from over here in my little piece of paradise, there's not a whole lot I can do. But I felt called to do this song. So what we can do right here, right now, wherever you are, and everyone here is, we're just going to go 4 rounds. This could go on endlessly. So if you ever wanted to use it as a meditation, go ahead on your own. When I plant a suggestive word, what I want you to do is the first line, I'll sing it. After that, you can repeat it. It's just 2 lines, like repetitive to pieces. But I want you to take that focus. We're going to generate it. We're going to build that energy and release it. We're making a mana cloud, an aloha cloud. And at the end of it, we will give it up. Lord knows it's needed somewhere. And so if you'll just join us, it's very simple. God of peace,
Mahalo and aloha. Thank you.
I had an agreement with Adriana about when I would introduce her, and it's almost that time. So that we are, this is the time in our service for the sharing of what we call miracles and ordinaries. And I think I have to limit it to maybe two. If there's two like miracles that are just burning to be shared this Sunday. Okay, all right, we got one. We got one. Shall I bring it to you? Actually, I think it maybe be nice if the live stream people can see.
Wow. It's amazing to me that anybody could not believe in an infinite spirit. But today was the most interesting. Every day has been an interesting day lately, but today was amazing. My daughter, who is 8, when we woke up for the first time, she said, "What are you going to wear today?" And I said, "What do you want me to wear?" And she said, "Something pretty." And I said, "Okay, what does that mean?" And so she picked out my clothes. And after I had them on, I realized, oh, they're kind of morning colors here. Isn't that interesting? Just hadn't occurred to me that they were, but they were her favorite. So then I said, I get to pick out your clothes. So if you see her later, she has a beautiful little pink dress on that came from Marie Claire. She has little ribbons in her hair that came from Marie Claire. And we were both just really happy to be thinking about Marie Claire. And as we were driving here, there was this music playing that was piano music. And I was mentioning to Faith, Marie Claire and Geraldine gave Faith a piano keyboard, a big one, so that she could learn to play. Because when she would go visit Marie Claire, she would play the piano with her. And so I heard the piano music and I said, wow, I said, now maybe you can really practice on playing and you can invite Marie Claire to be with you while you're playing to inspire you. And she said, oh, I can do that. She says, and now we don't even have to shoot a video of me playing. We can just have her show up because there are no limits. From an 8-year-old.
Oh, that is wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Do you want me to bring it to you or come and stand? Okay.
I'm Anna, and my miracle is not new, but on December the 14th, I went to North Carolina. Okay, I went to North Carolina. Pasha and I are both connected with North Carolina. I'm from there, and she's got kids there. And I had my right hip replaced, and it is just operating wonderfully, and I am so grateful.
Wow. And Anna is such an active person. If anybody needs to have good working joints, it's Anna. Well, happy for you about that healing miracle. Okay. So now I get to officially introduce Adriana. She is a psychotherapist in private practice. She's licensed in, Adriana Attento. And I've learned to pronounce it correctly. I just have to think of the Adriatic Sea. I think for a long time I was calling her Adriana, but yeah. Okay. So she is licensed to do psychotherapy in both California and Hawaii, and I think she's done a lot of online work in the last couple of years. Um, she's also an author. She's written A Holy Nothingness, Writing Towards God, and Creativity, Its Glory, Its Splendor, and You. And I believe she's working on another one. And she says she gratefully lives right here on the Big Island. Her connection with New Thought goes back over a decade to her previous first time living on the Big Island. She figured out she had done presentations in 2010 and 2012, and then she did one online for us last year, when one of the time periods when we couldn't meet safely in person, and today. So please help me welcome Adriana Attento.
Well, thank you, everyone. If it weren't for community, I would not be here today. It was Tony and Palmer Vaughn who invited me to be here. And it was Pasha and your wonderful support in leading up to this morning, and really all of you. I'm so grateful for your presence. I'm be speaking about a topic that is pretty deep and profound. And really, what I'll be talking about is consciousness and creativity. And I can be very animated in my with my arms. So if I end up going like this, please just like wave your hands and tell me. Or that will work too. Yeah. Um, so because I'm going to be talking about a really profound and deep topic, at some point in the talk, you might be thinking to yourself, well, how does she know that? From what place is she coming? And so I want to briefly share with you some personal, well, a personal experience as well as education, some education, my professional education. In 2004, I was living on the Big Island and I had a very profound experience. I, at the time, wanted to be a writer. And I was reaching for my unique voice. And I was writing a lot. And I would go and write by the ocean, right on the shoreline. I'd love to write at the beach. And simultaneously, I was also doing a lot of meditation. For those of you who know Gavin Harrison, I was attending his retreats and attending his monthly satsangs. And so I was doing a lot of meditation, cultivating awareness, and I was also doing a lot of writing, cultivating creativity, cultivating the life power. And these two experiences combined facilitated a very deep experience. And ultimately, I touched a layer of mind that I really have no words for. And it is likely an experience that I will be integrating for the rest of my life. And because of that experience, I knew that I needed to study the mind.
And so I shifted gears from being a writer to studying the mind. And in 2005, I went to graduate school and studied depth psychology, which is the study of the unconscious mind. So, studying mythology, archetypes, dreams, and also studying and reading the great works of deep scholars like Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, Alfred Adler, Otto Rank. And I also want to mention a female here, Anna Freud, the daughter of Sigmund Freud. And so these deep thinkers and profound individuals who left profound contributions to the field of psychology was where I was playing with, learning more about. So, this personal experience in 2004, and then the education of depth psychology is where I come from when I share my message to you today. Throughout human history, we have experienced shifts in consciousness. At one point in human history, we thought that the earth was flat. And we gained more knowledge. We became more aware. We became more conscious. And we realized the truth that, in fact, the earth is round. At one point in human history, we thought that the earth was the center of the galaxy. And then in 1543, Nicholas Copernicus published his paper where he theorized that, oh, maybe the sun is at the center of the galaxy. And indeed, we became more aware, we became more conscious, and realized the truth that, yes, the sun is at the center of our galaxy. And right now, the human species is going through another shift in consciousness. However, what is a little different about this shift in consciousness is that we are becoming aware of consciousness itself. We are becoming aware that we, you and I, are consciousness. That is a miracle. That is incredible. But what does that actually mean? What does it mean to be consciousness and to also be in this form, to be in body, to be what Ram Dass called the tight shoe, to be in this physical suit? What does that mean to be consciousness and to be a part of manifestation? And so, to talk about that, I'd like to share with you two attributes of consciousness. The first attribute of consciousness is that it is aware. Its fundamental nature is to be aware. Just like the sun, its fundamental nature is to radiate heat and light. And so, awareness or consciousness, the first of two attributes, the first is that by nature it is aware. And all of us right now, we are aware. You're aware of the sounds that are coming out of this microphone. You're aware of the thoughts in your mind. You're aware of the sensations in your body. You're aware of the shapes and forms and colors in this space. So you and I are consciousness, and we are aware, we are conscious. The second attribute is that we are creative. Right now, all of us, right now, in this moment, we are giving rise to form. We are giving rise to form. And what I mean by that, I don't mean that you're manifesting your prime parking spot. I don't mean, although, yes, you can do that. I don't mean that you're manifesting your new relationship or your next career move. And you can absolutely do all of that. But what I mean is you are giving rise to form. You are giving rise to thoughts, ideas, images, sensations, the vitality that exists within you, the activity that is happening within you right now. Consciousness is aware and it is creative. Consciousness is giving rise to all of this exquisite multiplicity, all of this incredible diversity. And just like consciousness is giving rise to form outside of us, consciousness also gives rise to form within us. All of our inner experiences, from the full array of our inner experiences, from light to dark, from pleasure to pain, from ease to stress, from health to sickness, all of it, all of our inner experiences is consciousness giving rise to form. Are you guys with me? Are you following me? Okay, good. Good, good. I'm glad I'm glad to hear that this is being received. So you and I are consciousness. We have great power to do wonderful things, and there is a power that is within us. We could call it the divine will that is giving rise to form from within. So divinity is immanent and transcendent. Consciousness is giving rise to form externally as well as internally. Yes. Now, what's very interesting about the human experience is that we come into this world of manifestation. This world of manifestation is in an ever changing river of flux. It changes, it moves. All of existence is in an ever changing river of flux. And the same is true with all of us. You and I began as the union of egg and sperm. And then we became a zygote, and then a fetus, and then, well, a zygote, an embryo, a fetus, a newborn, a toddler, a teen, an adult. We are also changing. We are we've come into this world of change, and we ourselves are change. And this is true physically as well as psychologically. So, your experience of self wants to change, wants to expand, wants to grow, wants to transform. This is the nature of life, it changes. So, the talk for today, which I purposely have omitted until now, the title of the talk is 3 Ways to Expand Your Experience of Life. Because this shift in consciousness is inviting us to grow beyond our identification, to grow beyond our sense of self. We could call that the ego. I don't prefer to use that word because it can have a pejorative meaning, but really it is your identity. And the shift that we are experiencing right now is inviting us to grow beyond that, to expand beyond that. So, 3 ways to expand your experience of life. The first, find a way to enter the unknown. Now, most of us, or perhaps all of us, are pretty good at doing that, right? We say to ourselves, I'm going to stay open to spirit. I'm going to see how I feel in the moment. And that is certainly one way to be open to the unknown. And if you wanted to make your experience of the unknown, if you wanted to take that deeper, a powerful way to experience or enter into the unknown is with a practice of creativity. Because as I said, consciousness, its second attribute, is by nature creative. It gives rise to form. So if you wanted to make entering into the unknown a regular practice, make creativity a regular practice. Now, you may need to empty yourself. You may need to do what Julia Cameron, the author of The Artist's Way, what she called the brain drain. You may need to do that to empty out before you can access that inner unknown. And if you were to make that a regular practice, along with meditation, you would also have profound experiences. The spiritual activist Barbara Marx Hubbard, if you're familiar with her, she passed a few years ago. She said, the more conscious you become, meditation, the more creative you become, creativity, the more you become like that which is creating you. And essentially, what you do is you open up to, when you enter the inner unknown, you open up to the spontaneity of life. You open up to the divine will. You open up to the intelligence of life. The same intelligence that knows how to spin the planets, that knows how to keep those waves crashing on the shore, that knows how to keep the planets circling the sun. The same intelligence that grew you from zygote, embryo, toddler, teen to adult. So the spontaneity, the autonomy of life is the intelligence that you can access when you enter the unknown. Okay, how are you guys doing? Are you following me? Okay. All right. So the first way of 3 ways to expand your experience of life. Number 1, enter into the unknown. Number 2, receive and relate to what arises. Receive and relate to what arises. And you'll notice that receive and relate are feminine qualities. Right now, our current level of consciousness tends to be qualities of mind that are masculine, active, competitive. And so receive and relate to what arises. And I will say, and maybe you have already gone there in your mind, that if you were to receive and relate to what arises, and if you were to be open to the unknown, that you might experience some pain. You might encounter some suffering. You might face some difficulty. But that difficulty, that suffering, is actually what life wants us to become conscious of. Because if we are rejecting any part of life, so if there is suffering that we have not yet become conscious of, if there is pain that we have not yet become aware of, if we are rejecting any part of life, we are stifling our growth. And in fact, it is within your pain where you will find your purpose. It is within your difficulty where you will find your destiny. It is within your suffering where you will find your service to the world. So receive and relate to what arises. And you may need to do that gently, slowly, gingerly, kindly, however you do it. By letting in that life power, what spontaneously and autonomously arises, you're letting in the intelligence of life. The third and final way to expand your experience of life is to relate to the opposite. Let me explain that a little bit more. The development of self, our identity, whatever it is we identify with, we could call it the ego. Whatever it is we identify with is by nature one-sided. You and I live in a world of duality, light and dark, pain and pleasure, sickness and health, etc., stress and ease. We live in a world of duality. And we have formed an identity. For instance, I am intelligent. I'm not dumb. I am productive. I'm not lazy. I am beautiful. I'm not ugly. And this is the nature of having a sense of self. We identify with only one side. So our sense of self is by nature one sided. And so if you were to open up to the intelligence of life, if you were to open up to the spontaneity, to the autonomy of life, to the pain and suffering, slowly, cautiously, gingerly, you might welcome in that opposite. And by doing that, by welcoming the opposite, you transcend the level of consciousness that created your suffering in the first place. By letting in the opposite, you transcend the level of consciousness that created the suffering in the first place. And this is what life is asking us to do. And that is why when you are able to transcend the level of the level of consciousness that created the suffering in the first place, that new level of consciousness will be your gift to the world. So 3 ways to expand your experience of life. Find the unknown, ideally make it your friend, let it be a spiritual practice of entering into the unknown, being with it. Number 2, receive and relate to what arises. And number 3, be open to the opposite. If you identify with being small, being small, let in expansion, let in bigness. If you identify with anger, let in peace. So I know these are big concepts. These are big ideas. And it may take some being with this experience. And so I'd like to end with a poem a beautiful poem by David White. It's called Working Together. We shape ourselves to fit this world, and by this world are shaped again. The visible and the invisible working together to produce the miraculous. I'm thinking of the way the intangible air traveled at speed around a shaped wing easily holds our weight. So may we in this life trust to the elements that we have yet to see or imagine and look for the true shape of ourselves by forming it to the intangibles about us. And I'll say one last thing to bring in our beloved sister, Marie Claire. I imagine that the angelic intangibles about us are fully supporting Marie Claire at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. That was very profound. I was pondering what opposites I want to invite. So, Adriana is going to be available after service. I asked her about her previous books and other things that for people that want to kind of delve deeper. And she said everything you can access by means of her website. So there's a printout of a sign-up sheet, and it has her website on it. So you can take a picture of it. I'm guessing most of you have a kind of phone that can take pictures, or copy it on to some piece of paper if your phone doesn't do that. And is it true that you have a monthly newsletter? It said that on the sign-up sheet. Okay. A spontaneous from time to time newsletter. Okay. Anyway, if you want to have a way to stay connected with her, you can do that. And there's another thing she'll talk about during announcements, something that's happening here at New Thought Center. But I will check my notes. And it says that now is the time that we enjoy our offertory music, and we can make contributions to support New Thought Center and the continuation of our community and our programs. And we are actually passing the bowl again. But since we do have some people who are joining us by live stream, since you can't participate in the passing of the bowl, you should instead visit the New Thought website, where you can find instructions on how to donate online. And actually, people who are physically here can also do that if that's more convenient. Okay, so I will start the passing.
Okay, there we. Well, yeah. Am I on? Can you hear me now?
I don't think I'm. Am I on?
There's a wren in the willow wood, flies so high, sings so good, and he brings to you what he sings to you, and the love in his lullaby seem to tell me if I try, I could fly for you. Love, I wanna try for you, and I wanna sing you a love song. I wanna rock you in my arms all night long, and I wanna get to know you. I wanna show you the peaceful feeling of my home. Summer thunder of moonbright days, northern lights in skies ablaze, and I bring to you what silvery wings in a fiery sky. Show the trail of our love, and I sing for you. Love is what I bring to you. If you let me sing for you, I wanna sing you a love song. I wanna rock you in my arms all night long. I wanna get to know you. I wanna show you the peaceful feel in my soul. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. Oh, I wanna sing you a love song. I wanna rock you in my arms all night long. I wanna get to know you. I wanna show you the peaceful feel in my soul. I wanna show you the peaceful feel in my soul.
Take us back a little bit.
Appreciate the thoughtfulness that goes into your music choices. It's both beautiful and totally appropriate. And I'm glad that it's on YouTube because, you know, if I want to hear it again and yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I will invite you, Adriana, first to talk about the dance experience you're facilitating, and then I'll do the rest of the New Thought announcements after.
Well, speaking of creativity, dance is a wonderful way to enter into the unknown and be moved by the music. And here at New Thought Center, we will be dancing once a week. And I should also mention that so yesterday was our first day, and there was a beautiful coincidence where Lindsay and Zachary, who are our guests today, were there, and I got to meet them, and we had a really beautiful exchange. And so Zachary is going to play, be the DJ, I should say. Do you want to describe? Do you want to say a few words about it?
Music outdoors and to create opportunities for people to reach healing magic through dance. I've spent a uh, number of collaborations working on ecstatic dance, and so Lindsay and I are trying to bring an evolution into the the opportunity for individual expression, and so we're we're trying to start an event called the Dream Dance. So it doesn't fit into the exact framework as the ecstatic dance. I want it to be a little more free than that. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get together on the 23rd. It's a Saturday. We're hoping that we can use the facility here, 4 o'clock to 6. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
So the dance happens every Saturday from 4 to 6, and on Saturday the 23rd, Zachary and Lindsay will be joining us and facilitating the music. So thank you. Hope all of you can join us if you love to dance like I do.
And if it really takes off, I mean, if there's a response to this, then it may extend beyond April. But so far, we've got the commitment every Saturday for the rest of April. Yeah. There is a small fee, but it's sort of like a love offering, $5 to $15 per session, and you can stay for the entire 2 hours if you wish, from 4 to 6. But if you want to just drop in for a portion of it, that's okay also. And it's not sequential, so if you didn't come to the first one, it's still fine to come to the second or the third or the fourth. Yeah. The title of it is Dance, Sweat, and Breathe. So the other announcements I wanted to share with you, the video of our programs is available on YouTube. It's like right now it's being live streamed, but it'll be available by video afterwards. And we will continue welcoming people in person as and also by live stream, as for the foreseeable future, assuming the technology doesn't fail us. And we offer free childcare during our main service from 10 to 11:30. The next 2 Sundays, well, of course, next Sunday is Easter Sunday, and our speaker will be Donna Maria Bordeaux. Her topic is Unity and Oneness Consciousness, and music will be provided by Sakshi Zion. And following the Easter service, we will enjoy our first potluck in more than 2 years. So there seems to be a certain culinary energy that becomes strong around Easter. So don't fight it. And we'll probably Shane is accepting the responsibility for, making sure the tables and the utensils and everything is there. And if I think one thing we used to do is sort of have a section that was vegan or vegetarian, and then the other section that wasn't. So if you are, trying to observe a vegan or vegetarian diet, you'll know which parts are made with those kind of ingredients. So that would be a good thing to do. Shana, is there anything else to say about the potluck? Okay, just come and bring a good appetite. The following Sunday, the 24th of April, our speaker will be Manuel Roberto. He's been connected with New Thought for 21 years. And so his program will be sort of part of our historical series that we started last year, since when we hit 50. It was our 50th anniversary year last year, and we're still kind of continuing some of our observances since we were constrained. But that was one that we were able to do in spite of the pandemic, because if we couldn't meet in person, we just did recordings. We've had about, 4 or 5 programs like that, where people who have been part of our history kind of share their memories and insights. So he was having trouble deciding on a title, but I think we centered on Reflections of a New Thought Elder in Search of God Consciousness. Music by Bernice Roberto, wonderful harpist, and Manuel, who plays flute and tablas. So the beautiful music as well. That's the last Sunday of April. We have the weekly event that we've already talked about, and then we have 2 monthly events. The last Sunday of the month is the produce giveaway, which happens after service. So if you have a farm, a garden, a few fruit trees, you can share your abundance that at that time. Uh, so that will be happening April 24th. And then the first Sunday of the month, the Crystal Bowl meditation from, well, I'm not sure yet whether it will be on the lanai or in the Honua room. And Aaron will be traveling, so I'm not sure who will lead it, but I believe it will happen one way or another. We have service opportunities. Now that we are, having our services with in-person attendance, we can use volunteers to serve as greeters to help with setup and cleanup and electrical stuff. We also can use volunteers to actually manifest some of these 50th anniversary ideas that we haven't yet fully manifested. One that there's considerable interest in is an online auction. A lot of organizations have done that in the past few years. New Thought hasn't yet, but there's interest. We just need people. And the third is sort of an ongoing need that's existed for about 6 months, I think, maybe longer, is someone to recreate the New Thought Facebook page and maintain it, or that it could be more than one person. It could be one person to do the initial work and another person to do the ongoing maintenance. So if you're interested in any voluntary activities or functions, you can speak to a board member. Will every board member that's here on the lanai this morning raise your hand, please? All right, the heroes. And you can also send a message to the New Thought email, which is spiritof@newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. And the easy way to do that, if you're on the newsletter list, is just click reply to your weekly newsletter. And if you're not on the mailing list for the weekly newsletter, you can do that in two ways. You can sign the guest book, which is on the large round table near the entryway, or you can go to the website and sign yourself up to receive it. The website, www.newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. And I think that pretty much, Terry Brown wanted me to add one more volunteer activity. Now that we are starting to have some workshops and classes and dances and things, we need people to serve as workshop facilitators or liaisons. You don't have to do public speaking. You basically just have to be helpful to the presenter and unlock and lock and make sure that the facility is done, treated respectfully and left in good shape for the next group or person. Yeah, so that's another good one. And you get free admission if you serve that function for New Thought. You are admitted free to that event. Okay, one more announcement.
In 2004, myself and two other women started a nonprofit called the Foundation for the Spiritual Practice of Creativity. And we are looking for a board member. And we're being very specific about the type of person that we'd like to have on the board. But if any of you resonated with what was shared today and you have an interest, it would be about 5 hours a month of your time. So not a lot. And of course, a board is really is the group of people that help to steer the organization. So if you felt called to that, would love to have that conversation with you. Thank you.
Adriana, is there information about that on your website? Okay. 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 But you're going to be sort of hanging out in that place. Okay, great. So, um, yeah. Sarah? Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. So one of the things that Sarah and another good friend of Marie Claire's want to do for part of the celebration of life is to create a slideshow. Marie really enjoyed taking pictures and sharing them with people, so it seems like a fitting thing to do for her. Um, and there's Sarah created a website so that everybody who has really good pictures can send a few of the very best ones to that website, and then they'll be organized and compiled into a presentation by Sarah and this other friend. Now, I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, I'll put it back on the round table. And once again, you can use your phone to take a picture of it so that you you know where to send your photos. But it's also not too hard to remember. It's marieclairememories@gmail.com. This will also be announced in the newsletter this week, but you're here now and you're getting a 3-day advance notice over other people. Oh, thank you. But so what Facebook, since we don't? Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so this will be a supplement to what is already coming in by way of Facebook. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. And another thing is that some people here today may wish to volunteer to assist with this celebration of life in various ways. So I will get another clipboard set up after we do our closing song so that, maybe there'll probably be food, for instance. So if someone wanted to volunteer to work on that aspect of the celebration, that would be terrific. Okay, so our traditional closing song is Hawaii Aloha, and the lyrics are posted in various places. So please stand and join or if you feel comfortable to circle up, that's fine. If you'd rather not, you can sing from the rear. Okay, so here goes. But I don't want to lead the singing, so I'm going to turn off this microphone do you want to? Okay. All right, thank you all for being with us.
Oli, oli, eh, my now, ah, eh, ah, eh, honey, ah, my name. Maoke aloha, aloha, vai. E nao, oli, nao, ki o vai,